In today's video, I'm gonna take you through the process on how to prep your vehicle for a correction and coating. Now this Hyundai Sonata is very dirty. It hasn't been maintained. There's a thick layer of dirt and debris, and you'll learn from start to finish what you need to do. I'll link most of the tools and products down below if you're interested, but other than that, let's go ahead and get started. First, we gotta get these bugs off the front end. Now you need to be careful because on this edge right here, you can see that the clear coat is actually failing and it's actually lifting off already. So knowing this, we want to be a little delicate with the pressure. That way, like, we're definitely going to stay away from this part because if we put the pressure on here, it'll chip the paint. So you kind of need to be cognizant of the condition of the paint before you just start going super aggressive with the pressure washer. So I'm going to rinse it down and try to knock off any of these bugs, and then use an all-purpose cleaner and a scrub pad to get, or a bug sponge to get these off. So now I'm going to use my all-purpose cleaner, dilute it 4:1, and then agitate with the bug sponge. And you're using very light pressure. You don't got to scrub and try to take off the paint. You want to do light down pressure, but multiple passes to take off any bugs. All right, now we rinse off. Now towards the end of the detail, if we see that there's still some love bugs on there, we can take them off later. For this vehicle, based on the condition that it's in, meaning it's very bad, instead of just rinsing it, I'm gonna first do a pre-spray with the all-purpose cleaner, let it dwell and break down that dirt and grime, and then rinse everything off. Reason being is if we just go straight to the rinsing, because the paint has such dry debris, it hasn't been cleaned or washed in a while, rinsing it, although it will take off some debris, there's still going to be a ton of it, a pretty thick film of grime on the paintwork. So best just to pre-spray first. Now, as it dwells, this is a perfect time to agitate the emblems, the tight areas. That way you can get the dirt out of there. So we have a dedicated wash brush in our wash bucket, and we're just gonna go around with our pump sprayer, if need be, and agitate those tight areas. Now, agitating all the tight areas, you can do that before the pre-spray, after the pre-spray. If you foam the vehicle down, you can do it then. This isn't like a permanent, it has to be done at this exact moment. But once you're done, rinse everything down. All right, next step is to finally wash the vehicle. On this one, again, based on the condition, I'm gonna go with a foam wash, and just because people like to see that. Could you go with a rinseless wash? Yes, you could actually, now after we rinse it down and all that. Now with this one, like, if you are gonna do a correction or even just polishing, it doesn't matter what you do, right? Like, any small little micro swirls or scratches that you put into it is gonna be easily remedied at the polishing step. Now here, I'm just gonna be using 2 wash mitts. I'm gonna foam it down, no bucket. I'm just gonna foam it down and wash the entire vehicle with those 2 buckets. All right, so I'll start from the top and work my way down. Now I will rinse the mitt down just to kind of get a clean surface again. And now it's time to give it a rinse. So the next step is going to be the iron remover and then the clay process. Now, yeah, this is the next day. I haven't done anything else to the vehicle. That's why it looks a little different now and the vehicle is dry. So you can go either the clay bar or clay process first and then iron, or do an iron remover first and then do the clay process. It's really a preference thing. I personally, we always go with the iron remover first. That way we can remove and minimize any contaminants that's on the paintwork before we actually clay. So this is Adam's iron remover. We're gonna pump it up. And this is a big part of the condition that you're in. Meaning in the shop right now, we're in shaded area. The panels are cool to the touch. So I can spray this cleaner onto the paintwork and let it sit there for a few minutes because the conditions are in my favor, right? I can spray, I can go all around the vehicle, and overall, like, nothing's gonna happen to it. It can dwell, it can sit there, and it can do its job. Now, if you're out in the sun, right? If we were doing this prep work outside and it's 100 degrees, 110, 115 degrees, and the vehicle has been outside for the whole day, those panels are going to be really hot, and you don't have the luxury of letting things dwell on the paint because it's going to immediately evaporate and dry onto the surface. So when it comes to not just this, but like any step, if you're cleaning the wheels, if you're doing paint correction, the temperature that you're working at, the temperature of the panels outside, like that plays a big factor to how you work the product and the systems that you use. Now this is when the iron remover gets in contact with some iron fallout. It turns purple, it dissolves it looks really cool. Now on a black colored vehicle or any dark colored vehicle, you're not gonna see it as well as, let's say, a white colored vehicle. So if it was white and it was like really bleeding, turning purple, I mean, the whole thing would be purple. It's gonna vary based on how much iron fallout that there is on this vehicle. So it's not gonna be nothing fancy that you can see or like some wow factor. If we rinse it off and there's purple, you'll see it on the floor. But other than that, you don't get that wow factor with this black colored vehicle. All right, so now we'll go ahead and rinse down the vehicle. And just to show you what I mean, this is the purple that's coming off the paintwork. You can't see it on the black paint, but once it hits the ground, it's very clearly visible that there is some iron fallout on there. Once that's done, the next step is to do your clay process. Now, we use, for the most part, a clay mitt. There's a clay towel, there's a clay bar, there's a clay disc. There's multiple forms of clay. Use whichever one you like. There's gonna be some differences in terms of one is more aggressive, one could get into more intricate areas, one covers a larger surface area. So you're gonna need a clay mitt, and then you're gonna need your clay lubricant. Now again, this is a rinseless solution diluted down to a clay lubricant, a quick detailer, a spray wax, your car soap. You can use a lot of things for lubrication. So on this part, you can hear, I don't know how well you can hear it, but there's a little bit of grit, texture, and sound coming out of the paint. So that means they're still stuck on contaminants. So this is gonna pull off all that contaminants off the paintwork. And you don't need to put down a lot of pressure. You don't need to like do anything overly technical. You literally just go back and forth with light pressure across the entire vehicle. It could take a while depending how big your vehicle is, how much contaminants is on the paintwork. So this really helps, like many other things, to be in a shaded area, because if, again, same thing as with the iron remover, if you're working in a in the midday when the sun's beating down, the product's gonna dry on you faster. The clay media won't glide over the paintwork as easy because it keeps on getting dry and you're doing dry passes. So if possible, I know sometimes it's very difficult to be able to have that luxury, but if you can work in the shade or whenever it's not that hot, it makes a world's difference. All right, so the claying process is all done. Now, this is what I mean of it's highly dependent on the temperature outside. Even here in the shop, it's still very hot outside, which means it's still very hot in here. Like right now outside, I think temperature is like 112. So it's not like it's fresh or cool in the shop. So as much as I'm sweating, it's also still gonna dry up the water or the clay lip that I was using. So when that happens, if you are working outside, either you have to continually rinse down the vehicle or dry the vehicle as you go per panel, or you have to change your method based on your environment that you're working in. Like right now, all the product and cleaner dried up on the surface. Now, since we're gonna keep on going forward and we're gonna rinse it down one more time, dry it, if you're gonna go into correction and polishing, that's fine. But it is something to be aware of because this can really make the entire detail process frustrating if you're not prepared for it. All right, so now I'm gonna give it a quick rinse and then we'll move to the drying process. So for the dry, we're gonna use a combination of both a microfiber drying towel and then our air blower. Whether you wanna start with the towel first and then the air blower, or the air blower first then the towel, completely up to you. And that's how you prepare your vehicle for either correction and polishing or a ceramic coating. Now on this specific vehicle, it's in pretty rough shape. Some of the panels are oxidized. The front bumper has clear coat chipping off. Some of the door handles and on the trunk deck, the paint's already faded. So this vehicle has a lot of work cut out for it. I'm not gonna show the actual correction and polishing just because that's gonna take too long. The video's already long as it is. So again, a big factor to the whole process, I'm gonna keep on saying, is the environment that you're working in. If it's really hot, if it's really cold, if it's really windy, these things will play a factor into how you're able to prep the vehicle. Like right now, it's super hot, drenched in sweat. I'm not even moving that much, and I am sweating pretty heavily. So if you let me hear your thoughts in the comment section down below of what you think of the process. What would you add or remove? And if you want to check out the products, I'll have them linked down below. Reminder, or not a reminder, but first time saying it on this channel, I think in less than 2 months, we'll be releasing our own Proper Care product line. So be on the lookout for that. Thank you very much, and I'll talk to you on the next one.